Hello and welcome back. So it's the end of the month, which was the beginning of April, which means we're going to be looking back over everything that I made in March. And actually thinking about it, I've made an awful lot this month, more than I thought I would. Though I think a fair amount of it is stuff that I'd started in previous months and just finished in March. So I think that kind of maybe has inflated it a little more than it normally would be. Everything I made in March. So this is something that one of my colleagues asked me to make. She sent me a picture that she'd seen, I think, I'm assuming on TikTok, or she sent me a TikTok, and asked me if I could make something like it. And I was like, absolutely, I can do that. So I did. And this was the result. And it worked quite well, but it was a little bit awkward giving it to her at work because she wasn't in. So I had to leave it on her desk. But I didn't want to just leave something that looked like a pair of underpants on a colleague's desk. So I hid them under her keyboard for her to find when she came in next. It didn't take me very long, and because I got books and things lying around, it was easy to size them up. And yeah, she's quite happy happy with them. This is one of my massively growing collection of socks, or a pair that's adding to it. I haven't actually worn socks very much recently because it's been getting a little bit warmer. So I definitely made these at exactly the right time. But I'll have them for when it comes to next autumn and winter. This is a blanket I made for another colleague. She'd seen the blankets that I'd made for the charity sale that some other colleagues were doing at work, but she hadn't been able to get down there in time to buy one of the blankets that she'd seen that I had made. So she asked about it. They said that it was me who'd done it, so she came and found me. I'd never spoken to her before. She works in another department. We've never actually had any contact, but she came down and asked me to make it. Originally, it was going to be for herself, but then she gave it to her mum, I believe, for Mother's Day, and it went down very well. I'm really happy with how this came out. I was going to do it just kind of like the middle bit all over, but then I decided that it would be nice to have a like bit of something different for me while I was making it, and also like visually I think it looks quite nice with the stripes down the side and then the bigger squares on the outside. So yeah, and this yarn is absolutely lovely. Like I call it pigeon yarn because it's kind of fancy pigeony colours. This is some dishcloths that I made because I've got a lot of cotton yarn that I was trying to use up, and I did have to throw away a couple of dishcloths when I was cleaning the kitchen. I used them to scrub some awkward bits, and I didn't want to use them for like cooking stuff, like pots and pans, that sort of thing, afterwards. So I threw them away and made some new ones. This is a little bag that is going to be for my niece for her birthday. Um, I asked my sister-in-law what I could make, if there was anything that I could make that might be good. So she asked for a little handbag for her to put some toys in as she's sort of pottering around with them. She's very young; she's not even one yet. But you know, as she's sort of pottering about, it'd be nice to have a little bag for her to put her bits and bobs in, whatever she deems important. It'll be interesting to see what she deems important that she needs to carry around when she does have it. And this is another bag that I've made for her as well. So she's got a couple of options. This one's got a drawstring so that it can take a bit more of a battering, whereas the former one, that's just open at the top. So yeah, it's good to have options. You know, a girl needs options for handbags. And this is a pair of trousers that I made for myself. I never made a pair of trousers before, so this was completely new. I did make some mistakes on them, but I'm not going to do anything to them to like fix them because they work well enough for me to wear around the house, which is what my intention was for anyway. If I wanted to have a pair for out and about, I think I would probably make another pair so that they look spot on rather than good enough. um, then I made these little bags for my colleagues for Easter. For people on my team, I like to give a little gift at Easter and Christmas and things like that. And it's just silly little things like some chockies and stuff like that. And I thought it'd be nice to make ones that look like decorated Easter eggs. And I gave those out. And then I made a second pair of trousers because off the back of the first pair I made when I posted about it, someone I'm mutuals with on TikTok asked for me to make them some. I have actually changed them a little bit since because I sent them over to her for her to try on to make sure that they're they're right, but I made them way too big for her. Trial and error, basically. But I have just finished within the last couple of hours um, uh, making the changes to make them the right size for her. So they'll be going back in the post tomorrow so that she can get them and actually wear them. And hopefully they're right for this time so she doesn't have to send them back for me to redo again. This was asked of another colleague. I have no context as to why they wanted a pig that's stripy like a bee, but that's what was asked of me. I was sent a picture of a hat that was like a pink pig and a hat that is black and yellow stripes, and asked if I could replicate it. And so I finished it and popped it in the post so that they could get it as soon as possible. I will have to ask what the story is behind that because I'm intrigued. To be fair. This is for my mum's birthday present. So obviously I've already made the present. If you watch my previous videos, you'll have seen what I've made for her. I put it in a box with a couple of other bits that are for her present as well. And so that I just made a bag to put around it. Didn't take me very long and took me a couple of hours. So it's, a nice, quick stash busting sort of thing. I do this a lot with gifts. I will make a bag to put the gifts in. Usually I knit the bags, but they can take a bit longer to do. Knitting is a much longer process than crocheting. But because the stuff that I've made for mum and put together for her is already in a box, I didn't need to worry about having an open weave and for things to fall out or whatever. So I used a sort of granny square technique and made it that way. I'm really happy with how it came out. This is a scrappy blanket. I think I started early January, might have been late December, early January. So I've been working on it for a while, using mostly like chunky and Aran weight yarns just to use them up. I finished it now and I have posted about it. This is available for free for anyone who wants it. All I need is for you to send me a message either on like TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, one of those three, and you can have it. Obviously, I'll need a name and address for it to be sent to. So if you want this, as of recording at least, this is available. If it's not available anymore by the time this goes up, I'll put a note in like the doobly doo, or I'll put a comment or something to say that it's gone. But if you would like this blanket, you can have it. It's just about a meter square, so not necessarily one for sleeping under, but good for keeping your legs warm or for draping over the back of an armchair or something like that. And my light went out.
It's gone all dark.
What was I saying? So yes, this is available if you would like it, in theory. If not, there'll be an addendum somewhere on the information. This is another scrappy project. Again, I've been working on this for a few months, and it's kind of poncho and a blanket at the same time. I'm hesitant to give it a separate name than poncho or blanket, because it would either be a bancho or a ponket, and I think both of those sound silly. But it's basically a blanket, but with a turtleneck in the middle, so you can wear it as you go about your business. Like if you're in the house and wandering around and want to keep warm, then you can wear it. I was going to make it bigger, and I might add to it in the future, but it's long enough for me to call it finished for the moment, at least. As with the socks, the weather has got warmer now, so I'm not actually going to be wearing it or using it very much, but when I get chilly, it will be there for me to use. And that's it for this month. So thank you for joining me. If you want to know any more information about any of these things, chuck me a comment down below. If you want to find me elsewhere, there is a link to my link tree in the doobly doo. Bye for now.